And so since we are going to be reading articles that are on the internet, you have the option of printing these articles out if you would like, and you can use a pen that way to sort of, you know, diagram the entire article. But there is also a really useful free tool on the internet known as Hypothesis, and the link can be found right here. It's web.hypothesis.is. And so I just want to show you how it works very briefly. So I'm going to go back to the Blackboard page, and you can see right here, this is the Hypothesis web page. And so it's free. You can create a free account, no problem whatsoever. After you create that account, you'll want to go to this link right here, which is type or paste a link. And so what I want to do is I want to find one of those articles that we're going to be reading for class. I'll go ahead and I will teach, or rather I will select Teaching Global Warming in a Charged Political Climate. And so here it is. What I want to do is I want to go and copy that link, and I want to come back to Hypothesis. I want to click it right here. And so what it will do is that it will sort of like bring up like a new version of the text, right? What makes it different, you can see right here in the upper right-hand corner, is that we have a number of tools that we can use to annotate the text. And so you can see here that it'll save your annotations for a really long time. These annotations that I've made from right here are from last fall. And so it's saved it all those times. And if I click on the highlighted pieces, it will show right here my thoughts at the time. So for example, this first opening line, it says, "Weather is chaotic," said Melissa Lau, the 6th grade teacher in this bedroom community outside of Oklahoma City. "What does that mean to you?" "It's another word for crazy," said one boy. "My sister got hit by a golf ball-sized piece of hail," volunteered a kid with glasses and a tuft of dyed blonde hair. And so if I was reading that for, let's say, a rhetorical analysis, I might be struck by the use of narrative or the use of storytelling or the way that the author is sort of putting this classroom into scene. And if I wanted to make a note of that rhetorical choice that she's making, I would simply highlight the text, and I would come up here to the upper right-hand corner, and I would select this icon right here, which says New Annotation. And so you'll see that it'll bring up the text box right here. And something that I might mention is great use of narrative. It really puts the reader in the writer's shoes and makes this story into an immediate scene which grabs the reader. And then I'll simply post it. If I wanted to just simply highlight it or highlight something, I could just select it and I can highlight it. I don't necessarily need to leave a note or anything like that. But I won't go through every single tool. I just want to show you a couple of them. Long story short, if you're working with electronic text and you still want to annotate, I definitely recommend Hypothesis. It's a really good tool, and it will save your work, and you can always come back to it. And I think it will really be a helpful tool for you to use for the second unit. But going back to my main points about summary and paraphrase, what makes a good summary? Like, what's the difference between a good summary and a bad summary? And so remember, when you're summarizing something, you want to leave your own opinion out of it. You want material to be presented in a neutral fashion, and the author should not include their own judgments, right? And so if you write a summary and you go back to revise it, read over it, if you see that you're starting to introduce your own opinion, like, I didn't really like this argument, I disagreed with it entirely, you can go ahead and cut that out, because that's not the purpose of a summary. A summary is that you want the reader to have the information in a really concise manner. And if you are injecting your own point of view, it's going to be harder for the reader to understand that information, right? So in summary, you just leave your opinion out of it entirely. You're taking a neutral third-person point of view. Also really important, and I know this goes without saying, in a summary, it should be accurate, right? That's the purpose of a summary, that you're trying to give information to the reader in a really succinct, concise manner. And you want to make sure that it's truthful and that it's accurate. And if it isn't accurate, well, it's a flaw, obviously, but it also hurts your ethos as a writer, right? That the reader will trust you less because you're less accurate. So accuracy is really, really important. Another thing that makes for a good summary is that it is a condensed version of the material presented in your own words, right? That you're just not cutting and deleting a number of sentences and reducing it, but that you are ingesting it, you are processing it, and then you are spitting it back out in your own words, right? In a way that makes it easier for the reader to understand. And then a summary relates the main claim, the thesis of the article, right? Like, what is the author's purpose? Like, what is their major argument? What do they hope that the reader takes away from this article? And so you start with that, and then you relate any of the important evidence or minor points or supporting points that help support that main point. You can't include all of them, right? That you have to make choices. You have to make rhetorical decisions about what is the most important evidence that you want to include in the summary, so that the reader can best understand and digest that material. And so summary, it takes a lot of different skills, that it takes really strong reading skills, that it takes good editorial judgment, it takes objectivity, and it also asks you to make critical choices. And so that's all I have for you for now. I just want to re-emphasize that the skill that we're working on for this unit summary, it's going to come in handy for unit number 3, and that it involves more than just writing. It really involves reading and thinking. And so that's all I have for now. I hope that this video is helpful. And as always, if you have any questions for me about anything in my videos or otherwise, please let me know as soon as possible, and I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. And so you all have a good one, and I'll send you another email soon.